Hey, gentlemen and ladies, my name's Neil.
And I'm Tyler, and we're excited to join you for our third inaugural episode of the Explain Everything podcast with Neil and Tyler.
Yeah. This thing is a wild, out of control forest fire of a success story if I've ever heard one, Tyler.
Neil, it's been insane. KATV 7, KATV 8, KATV 9. They have all been calling me all day to be like, tell us, what is a podcast? We're like, we explain it, just listen to the podcast. They're like, come on our show. I go, no, just listen to the podcast. It gives us a view. Yeah. And so, what is it, a listen?
Yeah.
It's a listen.
All the public access that we could ever imagine. All
goodness.
The local cable that we could ever do. Yeah, we're going to be on Sesame Street, too.
Yeah.
It's my local PBS. Although it's for a money, they need money is really what they need. They need us to do their fund campaign.
Yeah. Hey, Neil, can I be 100% honest with you?
Please do.
Whenever you started saying, you said something about PBS, I was like, as soon as he stops talking, I'm making a joke about us going on Sesame Street. And then you said it. Neil, this is insane. I think we should shut this thing down. We just killed the podcast.
Don't cross the streams, everybody.
That's what they say in Ghostbusters, and that's what I say in real life.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, we're not explaining Sesame Street this week. Tyler,
No.
What are we going to talk about?
Neil, thanks for asking. We are going to be talking about NBA free agency. So if you happen to be with us in the first episode, you're like, I'm interested in podcasts. Cool. And then we're like, listen to our audience. What's a Casey Neistat? We did that for episode 2. And now we're really just kind of really condensing our people that want to listen to this by going into NBA, not just NBA basketball, NBA free agency.
Right. But we're going to win them all back next time when we talk about humans.
Humans. Because most of I'd say like 80 to 85% of our listeners are humans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to want to know, wait, explain humans to me.
Yeah. And the other 10 to 15%, they get on because it's like they got that CAPTCHA, like, I'm not a robot. Well, they're robots with human hands that can touch the dot.
They're really hoping that we will explain their parents to them. Why is it when I left the house, my mom wouldn't leave? Like, I don't know. We're not explaining your mom. We're explaining humans. And she's obviously not one.
She's not a human. Yeah. It's like, what is that, Daryl? Remember that movie from like the 80s? Like that kid that was a robot? And he could hit a baseball really far.
Don't you do this to me. Don't you do this to me, Tyler Tarver.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yes. That we will tell you that story at one point. Okay. Not today, though. Okay. Today, we're talking about the NABA. It's going to be great.
NABA free agency. Yep. So
by the time they listen to this,
people will
free
be on
agency
teams.
Deadline, right? They will be on teams, so right.
Yes.
So we should probably explain how this free agency works, and that there's a period of time in which it's like an auction, like people are bidding. Like, give me four. Explain that.
Yeah.
Like tell them what does that look like in the year? Because the NBA regular season is over.
Correct. Now the year's over.
I got it.
So the finals are over. I'll start, Neil, and you just jump in. So the season's over. The season ended about mid-June. The Warriors lost to the Raptors, unfortunately. Canada has their first NBA championship team. And now what has been a storyline the whole year. This is not just like, okay, now the season's over. We'll stop talking basketball. Let's start talking about where these players will be next year. This has been a storyline through the whole year, and it has genuinely impacted and affected how teams perform during the season, because with this narrative and it just being a constant news cycle, it affects teams. So like the Warriors, there is no question they were affected by Kevin Durant's upcoming free agency. It means he can choose not to be on their team next year. And as, one of their key players, some would say he's the best player on the team, some would say he's the best player in the world. This has a big impact. Well, I mean, they actually say that now, Neil. So don't you LeBron James me, kid from Akron. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, fun fact about Neil. Neil, tell him about you and LeBron being pretty much brothers.
Well, we're both kids from Akron. I was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. Born at Akron General Hospital. Man. What some believe to be 3 rooms down from where the king was born.
That's incredible.
Between the two of them, between Kevin Durant and LeBron James, who can jump higher right now? Is that mean?
Well, okay.
Is that too soon?
Question: is he allowed to? Is it 2 feet or 1 feet? If it's 1 foot standing only, Kevin, actually LeBron was still winning. I think LeBron can probably jump higher than KD. So
I think you're right.
He's doing
right.
fine. He's doing fine.
Okay, so what is the deadline? Like, when does free agency, like, people are available to move from the team that they are on to another team? When is that open?
That starts, okay, so they can choose a team immediately if they want. Most people like have interviews, conversations, because they're not legally allowed to talk to other teams right now. They have to wait till June 30th at 6 p.m. is when they can start talking to teams.
Can they create fake Twitter accounts and start acting as if?
Yes,
okay.
burner accounts.
That happens.
Let's not point fingers there, Akron kid.
Okay.
Let's not. Let's not jump on that. Let's not make that the decision.
Kevin Durant has several burner accounts, is what we're saying.
No,
these people
he had one. Chill with that. You need a
Tyler.
Hey, do you remember the decision? That was not popular, Mr. James. Okay.
Well, he made the decision to me. Like, I didn't make that with me,
yeah.
So I don't have as much to do with that as you think I do.
Hey, you want to bring this because we can talk about LeBron James, but to give you some history, some background on this, a lot of people, they call this the player empowerment, or player empowerment movement, or player movement empowerment, whatever. It's player empowerment for where they want to play. Like, in the past, it was always like, oh, I'm drafted this team, like,
and you're stuck.
And the thing was, like, usually the worst teams get to pick first, which means they get the better players. So if you're a good player and you're going into the draft, you're essentially like, oh, cool.
Right.
I get to be with the worst organization in the league. Awesome. And it's like,
sign me up for that.
Yeah, that's what you get to be a part of, as opposed to being like, I want to go to a well-run organization that can pull out some wins every year. No, go to the team that tanked because they got nobody. And so it's like, I get the reason it's the system, but also like, traditionally it was you would stay with that team as long as you could until the team was like, he's not useful, let's trade him to the Denver Nuggets. You know what I mean? And
right.
But then LeBron, with the decision choosing to go to Miami, left his hometown. He was doing well, but they weren't putting any pieces around him because they would do too well every year to get good draft picks, and they had no trading pieces. And so it's like, he chose to go to Miami, and the big thing with that was he chose to bring a friend, Chris Bosh, who was drafted the same year, and went to play with his friend D Wade. So he's like, they chose, and now this player empowerment where they get to pick and they have the leverage, which they should, because they're the ones selling tickets. Like, they're LeBron James tickets. If you go to a Memphis Grizzlies game, it's like upper deck is $6 to go to a Grizzlies game. Except when LeBron's playing, it's $60.
Right.
So who has the value in this situation?
Well, these players know that. They know what they bring in their personality, in their brand, in their skill set. They have to have some control over this. It's kind of that same argument with the NCAA with football. We're not paying these players. It's kind of in that same thing. Like, look, at some point, the player has to be in some kind of control of some of this. And I do agree. I think, would you say that when LeBron made that decision was when it really changed some of the landscape for what people thought? Because prior to that, it was like, hey, I'm going to go wherever you tell me. I have no choice.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, what? We can do this together. I could actually stockpile. Now, that can be the downfall of a team, though, as well.
Oh, yeah. Chemistry. Chemistry is real.
Yeah, oh, gosh. Yeah, it's chemistry, but it's also you could ruin a team long term by trying to compile this dream team together for winning right now, but it puts a lot of pressure on that organization. And then, like, okay, so the Cleveland Cavaliers, that's my team. We tanked, but no one will tell you that they did. Kevin Love is like, no, we're not going to tank. Tristan Thompson.
Then you got to go through us.
Tristan Thompson literally said, it's all right. If you're in the East, you still have to go through the Cavs. You still got to go through us. Like, what?
Yeah.
So it's ruined. Oh, gosh. We couldn't get rid of J.R. Smith. We couldn't get rid of any of these other people. So it's like we're in ruin right now. And I would say it's because of what we paid in free agency to be able to put these role players around LeBron.
Yeah, and he left.
Didn't have Kyrie. So, and he left. And now, so you're sitting there with all the pieces.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got a championship out of it. So you're like, oh, this is going to kill us for the next, 3 to 8 years. If you're doing a good job at rebuilding. But that's the thing, like, and here's where free agency comes in. Like, teams like that can rebuild quicker if it's a destination or a situation that people want to be a part of. Cleveland.
You mean Cleveland's not a destination?
I would.
It's not.
If you're,
I get it.
Well, I mean, you got really good. Don't y'all have like Jack in the Box? Don't y'all have that there?
No, we don't have Jack in the Box.
You have
no,
Taco John's. You got Taco John's there?
No, you can go through the list. It's going to be no on almost all of those.
Okay.
No, but hey, we got Baker Mayfield. Totally different sport. We'll talk about that.
And OBJ. You got OBJ.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this movement for players going all over the place, and you even said it. Like this past year, the entire season, the question has always been, where is Kevin Durant going to go?
Yeah.
Which then puts all the if he leaves, if he goes to where is he supposed to go
the whole
season long?
The whole year. Okay, so early in the season, him and Draymond had a very public spat. He said, "This is why I'm gone," or something like that. And Draymond yelled at him, "We don't even need you," or something like that. Not great.
Well, he was right.
Not the best wording leading up to free agency. And
right.
And then it kind of smoothed over. But a couple weeks after that, the KD to the New York Knicks was a big storyline. But now, like, that's kind of faded out because the Knicks thought, like, oh, we're tanking. We're gonna get Zion Williamson. We're gonna sign Kyrie,
right.
and we're gonna get KD.
Right.
And you got those three. I mean, you're looking at the next because what? Kyrie is like 26, 27, 28.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Durant's 30-ish, and Zion's like what, 18. He just got like legally allowed to vote, and so you could have the next 5 to 10 years. You could be a competitive team. And Knicks is a great area. New York's a great city. Kevin Durant.
That's a destination, right?
Yeah, but that has now kind of fallen off the wagon. They got the third pick. They got R.J. Barrett instead, not Zion. Kyrie looks like he's going to the Nets. Brooklyn Nets, a different New York team. And honestly, now the narrative has shifted, and they're thinking KD's probably looking at either the Nets or the Clippers or the Warriors has been the talk. But
okay, so he can't play next year.
No, his Achilles. He ripped his Achilles game 5 of the finals, and so he's out for a year.
So even before we got to free agency, when KD got injured, everybody was already stacking their deck for where KD goes. Now we move all these other puzzle pieces around, but the minute that he got hurt, everything changed in the NBA free agency, all of it, because you can't stack a team now, and you can't base it off of, well, they've got to do a 3-team trade to get this person from here to there, so it changed it all.
Well, here's the thing: you've got about 14 teams in the NBA right now that can clear max space to sign Kevin Durant, and I would bet if I'm guessing, about 10 of those teams would still pay max money for a Kevin Durant. Coming back from an Achilles, you're probably not going to be as good, but he's he can shoot. He's one of the best shooters of all time. So he's 7 foot. You don't have to move that much to get a shot off, And so they'll still pay big money for him. But here's what changed is the Warriors are no longer the unbeatable team. And so now these players are looking around and going, you're telling me that my legacy is literally only based in rings, in championship rings. That's what we place all the value of a player on, for the most part.
Right.
And so with having that much value, they're like, well, I got to win. And I know I got to have at least 2 other stars to win in this league. And so it's like, they're looking around going, okay, which 2 of my buddies am I going to text and see if they'll go to this team with me? So teams are really trying to clear up at least 2 max spots to grab 2 players, because all the best want to go with a buddy who's also a superstar.
Right.
And so
there's no such thing as a dynasty anymore.
No, because these players can bounce.
Outside of the Warriors, right. So the Warriors were really potentially the last ones. Yeah. And I think had they won, I think you could have said definitely a dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know now with the possibility of him leaving. So all right, who are the biggest possible free agents this year?
So it's great. This is why we're talking about this, because, or one of the reasons is, they're saying this is probably one of the top 3, if not the best free agency class in the history of the NBA. Just based on, like, if you're ranking players in the league, top 30 players in the league, you've got 8 to 10 of them in this free agency. So, like, the league, we don't know who the best team's going to be right now. They have no clue who the top teams are going to be until, like, probably a week from now. Then they'll be like, okay, we can legitimately start putting together who the best teams are going to be. And then when KD gets healthy, that changes again. So here are the top free agents. So Kevin Durant, I'm going to do them in order of how good I think they are overall. So is that a good way to rank that?
Let's do that. Yeah, okay. We'll see if we agree or disagree on this.
Okay. So number 1, Kevin Durant. Obviously, I know that right now he's probably not the best because he's in a hospital bed or laying down or in a boot. Yeah. But I would say that he's number 1. Second, Kawhi Leonard, who just won a championship. And you think he just won with the Raptors. Why would he leave? Because Kawhi's a dude that
he didn't want to go to the Raptors anyways.
No, he got traded there. He didn't want to go there.
Right.
And these players want to live and go where they want to go, and so
I agree with you with KD and then Kawhi. Absolutely. 1 and 2. No question.
Okay, now the third one you might disagree with and I'm basing it on, I'm thinking the whole player, team dynamic, all of it. Okay? Some people would say Kyrie. I would say Klay Thompson is the next most valuable because I think you can put Klay Thompson into any situation and he's going to make your team better. Kyrie, you put him into an amazing situation in Boston and he was corrosive to that environment. I think he's a great dude. I like him, but it just did not fit with everything, all the pieces around him. And so I would say,
for the record, are you a Golden State Warriors fan?
I am. Are you a Kyrie fan?
Okay. Well, yeah, I will say that. I mean, the boy helped us. He helped us get a championship.
Yeah, he had.
Now, I will say, I understand Klay. I think Klay acts more maturely. If we're talking about basketball skills alone, I would take Kyrie all day, every day.
Yeah. Oh my, he's one of the most skilled players of all time.
He can, right. You're talking about ball control. He can move it around. He can shoot from anywhere.
Yep.
I think he is more talented than Klay. Based off of what they did this last season, I would agree with you. Klay seems like he is a little bit more stable than what Kyrie is.
Yeah.
Because Kyrie had this whole blow up with LeBron. And then they eventually apologized and all that kind of stuff. Now, I honestly think the whole apology thing is because he ran out of friends in Boston.
Yeah.
Because he had alienated and ostracized himself from everyone.
Oh, yeah.
But also because he's probably looking down the road and he knows he could win with LeBron. And there's a possibility. Now, I don't think he's going to go to the Lakers, but you know what I'm saying? Like, even before all this stuff was, where does it land? I think you got to be really smart about who you were making friends with. And maybe he learned his lesson, maybe not. But I don't think Kyrie is acting like somebody that you want to have on your team.
No, he's not. And I like Kyrie, but he's a different dude. He's a different cat. It's like crazy.
Where do you think he goes?
I mean, they're talking like right now he's a shoe-in for the Nets. But then they were like, well, the Nets don't want him if they can't have KD. But then the rumor is, and honestly, he's from like New Jersey, so he's really close to his like hometown. Like you always got a picture, like people want to act like these are pieces on a chessboard, but these guys are signing up where they're going to live, where they're going to raise their family for 5 years. Like when I think about that, like location plays a part in that for me. So I think he'll go to the Nets. If he doesn't go to the Nets, I think he'll go to the Lakers because I think he still wants to win. But I don't know if the Lakers can afford him because he's going to be a little bit higher. I think the Lakers are really going to go for D'Angelo Russell. But then the Knicks, he's going to one of those three teams. That's my thought. I don't think he'll go anywhere
So right
else.
now, ESPN is predicting right now, the forecast is that it's 96% that he is going to the Nets.
Yeah, I figure that.
After that, they've got him at New York at the Knicks.
And then Lakers.
What about Kawhi? Where do you think? Yeah, they're not even on the list.
No.
They're not
Kawhi
even showing up.
Honestly, I think Kawhi's going to the Clippers. I know he just spent a year in Toronto. Toronto loves him. It's a great city or country is behind him. They love him.
It's a great city.
Well, it is.
It is now.
Toronto is a city. Toronto's a city.
I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 people would not be able to point Toronto out on a map until these games just happened.
Exactly.
They're like, what? Where does Drake live? That's all they care about.
Yeah. And then the people over 35. Who is a Drake? What is a Drake? What is a Gamora?
When is a Kawhi?
When is a Kawhi?
So
I say
I think he does not stay with the Raptors. There's no chance. And I agree with you. I would say he's going. Yeah. All right. What about Klay Thompson? Where do you think he goes?
He's going to the Warriors. And what we didn't mention is Klay's not going to get to play till February at best because he tore his ACL.
Because he got hurt too
in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Not a great Finals for Warriors' health. And so here's the thing, though. Here, think of this, Neil. So let's say, the Warriors have said we will pay max contract. They've already got max contract on Steph. They said they would pay max contract on Klay and max contract on KD. Now, why this is something we can learn out of this because there's two important things here. One, those max contracts are going to be different for KD and Klay. You think, max contract, that's about $200 million over 4 or 5 years. That's how much they can pay. It's different because there are indicators that allow you to qualify for something called a supermax. And so free agents can actually make more money. They're limited on how much money they can make based on awards they receive. So like you have to hit like Defensive Player of the Year if you make the All-Star team, if you make first, second, or third team All NBA. If you hit these markers, you qualify for more money. So KD is going to qualify for a supermax. He's going to make as much money as you can. It's like over 220 million or so. Klay, get this. So the media votes on all NBA teams, first, second, and third team. Okay, that's like saying if we're making one team of all NBA players, here's the starting 5. Okay, second team, next starting 5, top 15 players in the league. Klay Thompson, most everybody put him in their top 15. Klay did not make first, second, or third team All NBA because he did not get voted into third team by the media, by these rando media people who may or may not watch or know anything, but they're on the media. Because he did not get voted into that, it lost him as an individual the chance to making $30 million more over 4 years.
Man.
4 or 5 years. I can't remember if it's 4 or 5, but he went from $220 million to $190 million. Now, granted, $190 million, not a bad paycheck. Yeah. I mean, that's what you and I made from this podcast starting last week, as episode 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thank you guys for subscribing, by the way.
Appreciate
we
y'all
really appreciate it.
paying on Patreon. Appreciate that.
Oh, my gosh.
So they're limited. But now here's what you got to think, too. For this specific situation, next year, if the Warriors pay for all 3 of those max contracts, because most teams only have room for 2 max contracts.
Right,
and
two
then some
at most.
Medium and low-end players, because, the rest of your team's not going to be as good because you can't pay as much. And that keeps teams from, stacking their team like the Yankees do in baseball and just pay everybody $30 million a year, and we'll have the best team.
Well, it's what the Lakers are going to be up against. The
Yeah.
Lakers with LeBron.
Yep.
And you have you got 2 big guys, 2 big paychecks. Who else are they going to get? What do they have? 27 million left to play with?
Well, that's lucky. The Lakers have a crazy situation. So AD can actually give them 4 to 10 million extra if he waives his trade clause, which means he gets an extra $4 million. So if he says, "No thanks, I don't want $4 million," it opens up.
And there's no chance AD does.
There's
that.
a chance.
No chance.
He's in the new Space Jam movie. All they got to do is LeBron's like, "Hey, pay him an extra $4 million for being in this movie." They're like, "Okay, boom." He got his
He can
deal.
do it, yeah.
They can make it work. But I mean, there's ways around it. But I mean, it's all super sketch. But they do that, and they're looking really strongly at D'Angelo Russell because D'Angelo Russell does not qualify for a supermax, so they can afford him. He's in the 20-something million range a year.
But okay, what's wild about it is D'Angelo Russell used to be on the Lakers, right?
yeah, and they traded him.
And he got shipped out, traded, right? And now all this stuff shifted around, and now he is one of the biggest names outside of maybe Kemba Walker, but they're not saying his name that much anymore.
No. D'Angelo
Russell is like the guy that we're talking about now going back to LA. I think he would be great if that's what he's going to make in that block of money. You're saying in the under 30 million range. Why would he go anywhere else?
I know, because it's like they were talking about the Suns were really wanting him, but then the Suns are the worst ran organization, and they screwed up some trades recently, so they can't afford him. And so you're looking at that. You're looking at him, and here's the thing. Again, these guys get to choose where they live. Do you want to live in Phoenix, or do you want to live in Los Angeles? Yeah. Like, all these guys live in Los Angeles in the offseason anyway. So it's like they all.
Or do you want to live in Milwaukee?
Yeah, or Milwaukee, or Cleveland, or Toronto. Like,
really, I mean, think about it. They're not living there. They're living there. I get it, but they're going to have 2 or 3 other homes. Yeah. But if you could play and live in LA, you don't have to have another home somewhere else in Cleveland.
Yeah, but your family lives there. So if these guys, D'Lo, I don't think he's married, but if you're married, you got kids. It's like, okay, well, my kids got to go to school here. My wife has to stay here all the time. She ain't going to all the away games with me. Like, that's where you're posted up, and you don't want your home games, which is like half your season, to be across the country from your family. And so it's like, that's why LeBron, one of the big reasons he picked LA was my family. This is where I want them to live. This is where they want to live. So, and I don't blame him. But I think they've got, here's the thing. So if they bring in Lakers, if they get D'Lo, they got D'Lo, Anthony Davis, who will be up for a new contract next year, and then LeBron. And then you got the Warriors, who are willing to pay 3 max contracts. They can go over and have to pay what's called a luxury tax. So, do you know much about the luxury tax, Neil?
A little bit, but go ahead and do it, please.
To boil down, it means if you go over your salary cap, which is what you're supposed to spend, for each million or so you go over, you can look this up to verify, you have to pay another million in luxury tax. So you're essentially paying a tax, a huge millions of dollars, just because you're wanting to pay extra money. So you're paying extra money already for the players, but then you have to pay extra money on top of that, not for your team, not for players. You have to pay that out to the league or somebody, I guess. I don't know. Probably like Bill in accounting. He gets all
So
that money.
yeah, Bill. Yeah, it's Toby back in HR.
Yeah.
So the luxury tax threshold, because you said I could check you on it, and I
Yes,
just did.
thank you.
It's 132 million, but the
Oh.
cap maximum is 109.
Okay.
So there's that wiggle room in between.
Okay. Yeah. So then
Yeah,
that's
you're
if
right.
willing
That's
to
that
pay,
they can't go over that.
No.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and a lot of teams, they'll just get rid of good players. Like the Thunder, they're trying to get rid of Steven Adams right now just because that's an extra 20 mil, not including the 20 mil they pay him, an extra like, I don't know, 10 or 15 million in luxury tax. So you're looking at like, we get rid of this one guy instead of 20 mil, we can get rid of 30 million a year that we're having to pay. And so it's like, I don't know. There's so much. It's not just like, okay, get the best players you can. There's so many numbers involved in this free agency that play, like teams have been clearing out for weeks, for years. Honestly, for years, teams have been trading and acquiring assets and getting rid of contracts for years just to make room for this free agency class. And so I don't know. This is exciting to me because I love numbers, but two, I love basketball. So this is hand in hand.
Man.
Hand in hand.
Some of these small market teams, they just cannot possibly compete with some of these other. There's no way. No. Memphis Grizzlies, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. Milwaukee, it's a miracle that you are where you are.
Yeah, because they got lucky and they hit Giannis at the 15th in the draft.
Yep, right. Yeah, but nobody thought. The other one we didn't talk about is Jimmy Butler, the possibility of going to the Rockets.
Butler and Walker.
It's a possibility.
Big. Yeah, they're trying to. Yeah. What they're trying to do is a sign and trade. So. The Rockets have too much money tied up in James Harden and Chris Paul. Great contract sign there on Chris Paul. So you've got too much money in them. So they can't just sign Jimmy Butler for close to what he's worth because they don't have any money left. So what they would do is they're trying to work out something where the Sixers re-sign him, which would mean Jimmy's going to get more money anyways because free agents, they're enticed to stay with their teams. This is how small market teams keep people, is they can pay them more money than someone else on the outside can. So the Sixers can pay him more money, and then what the Rockets would do is do a trade. And so they would take on that contract of Jimmy, but in the process, to make room for Jimmy's contract, they give the Sixers like some assets who are worth something, like Clint Capella. They've been trying to get rid of him. And a few others. They're trying to get rid of them so that they can make room for him, get him what he's worth, but also get some contracts off their books. It's a chess game.
By the time people will listen to this, it will have already happened. Free agency starts or opens up at 6 p.m. Eastern Central on Sunday. So you will be listening to this on Monday. See if we have been right on any of this. Where do these players go? I think it kind of goes. It's like the shotgun start. There's a lot of activity, and then it gets maybe quiet. But I think the longer it goes into free agency, doesn't it get a little more dangerous because you don't have as many options. Everybody's trying to get this thing done as fast.
There are going to be some teams. Like I said, there's 14 teams with max spots, at least one max spot. There's only 10 players that are probably worth the max spot. But these teams also need to get these players. And so there's some people overpaying for some players pretty soon. All right, you ready? We're going to do rapid fire. I'll name a player. You say one team you think they're going to. You think where they're going to end up. You ready? Kevin Durant.
Sure. I think he stays.
Me too. Golden State Warriors. Kawhi Leonard.
Clippers.
Same. Man, great minds. Kyrie Irving.
I mean, I want him to go to the Lakers, but I'm going to say he's going to the Nets. He's going to Brooklyn.
Same. I would love to see him with LeBron again, but I think he's going to the Nets. Klay Thompson.
Gosh, he stays.
Warriors. Jimmy Butler.
See, if he doesn't go to Houston, I don't know where he goes. And I think it would be really, really cool if he went to. I'm going to say I want him to go to Houston.
Yeah, you do? Okay, I think he's going to stay with the Sixers. I don't think Houston's going to be able to pull it off. I think Lakers
it's
are
too
great,
much,
but I'm definitely going to say he's going to stay with the Sixers because I think they're going to let Tobias Harris go, and they're just going to be like, Jimmy, we need you. Kemba.
Stays.
You think he stays with the Hornets? Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's going to I mean, yeah, man, I'm just going to agree with you because I believe in you more than him. Stay with the Hornets.
Well, the only other possibilities are you got he could go to the Knicks. He could go to the Lakers. The Lakers would be the one that if they don't if Kyrie doesn't go and if D'Angelo doesn't go, then I would want Kemba to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kemba would be great for their system, him or D'Lo. So D'Angelo Russell, where does he go?
Ooh, if he stays, does he make more money?
Yeah, but the Nets have apparently said if they want Kyrie, they're not keeping D'Lo. So
okay, so yeah, that's I just think irony of ironies would be that he goes back to the Lakers.
A great story.
And I think at the end of the day, I think you would want to.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lakers.
I am too. We haven't disagreed yet. Tobias Harris.
Tobias Funke is not Tobias Harris.
Never nude. Yeah, he's got to wear them jeans. What if Tobias Harris wore jean jorts underneath his jersey, like LeBron, like Michael Jordan wore those North Carolina shorts? I bet you he wears the same thing.
So do you think he resigns?
No, I think he's going to Utah.
Ooh,
it's the only team I've heard.
I can see that.
So
okay, interesting.
Right. Al Horford.
Ooh,
yeah.
I know Dallas has been interested. I don't know. It would be amazing if he could go to the Clippers with Kawhi.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
That would be amazing. I don't know if it's going to happen.
All right, our first disagreement. You ready? I say
Okay.
I say he's going to the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh yeah,
they've got the room to pay him. I heard he's a great team guy. He's older. They need.
That's the thing.
Vets.
They're going to need somebody older.
Yep.
Yes.
I think they're going to get him or JJ Redick. I think those are the two. I think they might try to get both because those two dudes would be awesome for those young guys out there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Keep them off Bourbon Street. You know what I'm saying?
Need some help.
Don't look to the left or right. Keep your eye on the road. Did I ever tell you that I almost got beat up by a guy in a Minion costume on Bourbon Street?
No, but I want to hear.
You want to hear it right now? Do we got time for this?
Yes.
Is this the best way to end an NBA free agent?
This is the best way to end it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I was out there. It was an education conference, and we're out there, and they got people dressed up in outfits at night, and you can like take a photo with them or whatever, and they got little containers you put money in. Well, I see a Minion, and my kids love the Minions. I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a picture of the Minion guy. So I got a photo, and it was okay. So all I had on me was I carry $2 bills so that I can tip with $2 bills.
My dad carries $2 bills.
Well, your dad's a smart man, great guy. I love it. He's the Santa Claus of our time, as they say, with his $2 bills.
Oh my gosh!
And so I was standing there. I took the photo with him, and then I was reaching in my pocket. It's like his like suit thing was like super like dingy and nasty. It looked like he'd been rolling around playing with yarn or something, like a kitty cat on the Bourbon Street. It's like this kind of feels like there could be urine on me now. And I was like, that wasn't worth $2. So I reached in and grabbed like 27 cents. It was all the change I had. I tossed it in the bucket. Well, I walked off. Well, turns out my friends that I was with were watching. The dude heard the clanging of the change, yanked off his Minion outfit, completely ruined the mystery of it all. I thought it was a real Minion. And I was like, Kevin. And he took it off, looked down at it, picked up the bucket, took out my change, threw it on the ground, and apparently started yelling and cursing at me as I was walking away. I heard none of it. Oblivious.
Wow.
What he was cursing at me to the point where a police officer had to go over there and calm him down.
What are your kids doing during all this?
Oh, I wasn't with my kids. This is a school conference.
Oh, thank God. You said your kids loved Minions.
They do. So I took a photo and sent it to them.
You said my kids love Minions, and I'm thinking they're standing there horrified watching this entire thing unravel.
No, that would be...
The only person that could save that would have been Santa Claus.
Well, your dad could have saved it. With his $2 bill. He said, no, I got you.
Alert.
And he throws it in. And it slow-mo floats down. 120 frames.
This is it.
It's incredible. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope we really cleared up NBA free agency that already happened for you guys.
It just happened, and we'll see if we're right or not.
Yep.
We're probably right.
We're recording.
And even if we're wrong, we'll explain why we're wrong.
No, Neil. You have to be wrong to have to explain.
No, I meant why they're wrong.
Oh, why you're wrong. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
As always,
those
you're
people.
correct.
Yeah.
All
right.
Awesome.
Good job.
Thank you, guys. Hey, subscribe. Give us 5 stars if you don't mind. Like, that really helps, especially us being a fresh out the Jack in the Box, not in Cleveland, Ohio podcast.
Definitely not.
We would love if you would give us a little rating. It just helps in the searchies, in the searchy merchies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And tell all your friends about what you're learning so far.
Yeah.
And tell us also what you would like us to explain.
Yeah, what you want us to explain next time.
You want to give them a little. You want to give us a little. You want to give a little spoiler alert on what we're going to explain next
Ignition.
time.
We've got we take turns choosing the topics. Right now we're looking at either The Bachelorette or the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Those are our top 2 draft picks. Our top 2 free agents for the.
We had a late entry. A late entry is The Office because something just happened with The Office.
Really?
That may be. Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Netflix is announced when its run is over.
Oh my goodness. People are going to lose their minds because that's like the number one thing on Netflix. Okay, we'll save that for The Office. Yep. Okay, we might be The Office. Those are our top 3 free agents. That's our KD, our Kawhi, and our Kyrie or Klay, depending on if you make the right decision.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. All right, see you guys later. Thank y'all for listening.
Okay, bye.
Bye.